Okay, this is a video on resistance levels from the past. This ARCT, one of the members, Alex, asked about it because it's very strong, but where does it run into resistance? You know, how can we figure out where the resistance is? So, it's a very valid point that he brings up. You know, is this going to affect the trading of the stock at this level? Well, there's two important points here to recognize. The first point is technical analysis that we use works because people believe it works. It's market psychology. I don't believe that technical analysis works. Really, I mean, it's all smoke and mirrors. But there's enough people in the marketplace, the sum total of the world's knowledge in technical analysis, it makes it a self-fulfilling prophecy. So, though I don't necessarily believe it myself, the magic of it, what I do believe is that the market psychology believes it, and therefore it works. And it only works because of certain points on the chart that the sum knowledge of all of the traders in the world believe that that's going to work. Now, there's so many different types of charts, and I have done videos on technical analysis explaining this whole thing. But the only reason that there's resistance here is because people believe the market believes that that's going to be resistance. And if people are long the stock, they see that, they're going to sell. And so it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. So this line is resistance. But there's so many different types of patterns. There's Bollinger, there's RSI, there's VWAP, there's the trend lines, there's the moving averages. And so you use the one that you like the best, that works for you. The one that works for me are trend lines. Two, very simple: support and resistance and trend lines. And that's all I use. And I mean, I look at these other ones because I don't look at VWAP because it just doesn't make sense to me. And I think I just don't think people know what it is, and it's not used. It's just coincidence that it works. But moving averages are very powerful ones. RSI, Bollinger Bands. There's so many of them. But as I say, I use support and resistance and trend lines. Okay, so that's the one thing. So this line here at 63, so at $64. Is psychological resistance for a number of reasons. It's a whole number, one, and two, this is the previous high in here. So anybody that's looking at this chart is going to say, okay, that's going to be resistance, I'm going to sell there. The reality of all this, of that, is that. Now, there's two things that have to happen here. The traders, and maybe the analysts that people watch technical analysis, will be sellers when it gets to this level. But the reason that there is also resistance is because people that bought the stock here and then watched it go all the way down, and then when it gets back close to that level, they're going to go, thank God this is back to where I nearly bought it. I'm going to sell it and just take a small loss rather than taking a $50 loss. I'm going to take a $2 loss. And so that's why there's resistance normally, but not in this case. This is rolled back 1 for 7. So this isn't really $60. It's $6, not even, well, it's $10. Let's say it's $10, just a round number. But using the chart as it is today. So this is a 1 for 7 rollback. Okay, so if you had 100 shares here, you now have what have you got? 13. No. Yeah, no. 14. You have 14 and a half shares. So you had 100 shares. Now you have 14 and a half. And this was back in 2015. Okay, maybe you held it through this tax loss selling. Unlikely you held it through this tax loss selling. And for sure you didn't hold it through this tax loss selling. So anybody that was in this stock from post-split, $60, has no stock left. There's nobody, none of these people are here. So in effect, there is no selling pressure. The only selling pressure will come from the technical analysts who say, aha, here's a resistance area. When it gets to that, I'm going to short the stock. But the point is that they're not going to have any help from bag holders because there's no bag holders left. This came from 58 to 5. So the point being is, how far do you look back? When you're looking at a chart to find out where the support and resistance is, the first thing you do when you're looking at a chart pattern is you look left. And this is what you see. Then you look straight ahead. And this is what you see. And then you look to the right because you want to see where it's going to go. So the answer, the long-winded answer to this question, Alex, is that this is your resistance, but it's only a psychological resistance. There is no paper for sale, except for the people that bought it here and see that that's resistance, and then they'll be sellers. But there is no sellers left from here. It's strictly psychological.